Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Greg and Sheila Fawson, who are
Hi, everybody.
Doing the tech stuff. And we got Paul Landsittel as our special music today. Welcome, Paul.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good to have you. So we're going to get started with evocation. So if you would close your eyes and join me in prayer, giving thanks for this great day that we're about to enjoy, knowing that everything is in perfect order. The service unfolds in all its glory and splendor, and everybody that's tuned in is turned on. I know that this is the day that the Lord has made, and I celebrate it. I rejoice in it. So very grateful for all the good that is in our lives. So very grateful to be alive, awake, and aware, and to be living this life in all its glory. I know this for myself and everybody that is here with us today. In fact, everybody on this planet.
That's right.
So very grateful. And in gratitude, I release and let go. And together we say,
and so it is.
Oh, it is.
All right, Paul, you got a song for us?
I do. I have a Jimmy Cliff song here that I thought would be appropriate since we're all kind of in this time of uncertainty. Since about the beginning of March, I thought, well, this will last a couple of months, but now it's September and we're still walking around with masks. So this song is called Sitting in Limbo. Sitting here in limbo, knowing won't be long. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, like a bird without song. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. Sitting here in limbo, waiting for the dice to roll. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, had some time to search my soul. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. I don't know where life will lead me, but I know where I've been. I don't know what life will show me, but I know what I've seen. Had my share of love and friendship. What's in the past is gone. This little boy is moving on. Sitting here in limbo, waiting for the tide to roll. Yes, I'm sitting here in limbo, knowing that I have to go. Yes, there's been some resistance, but I know that my faith will lead me on. Sitting in limbo, sitting in limbo.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're all sitting in limbo together.
Yeah.
We are.
And we can do the limbo while we're at it.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
should be
know.
able to.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing it anymore.
Maybe not.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. We got some announcements to do.
Okay, so like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. And go check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. If you haven't already, go to our contact page and add yourself to the email list. There's a prayer request page where you can leave us a prayer request and we'll pray on it all week. And on that page are this week's affirmations and affirmative prayer, but also lots and lots and lots of others. So there's lots of affirmations out there. So if something's going on in your life and you just need a little lift, just go out there and check out those affirmations, because after you start reading a few affirmations, it just lifts you right up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I got a blog on them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a brand new article out there. And if you go to the blog, it's Reverend Michael's blog. His most recent one's on the top, but he writes really good articles, and they're all just out there. So you could just go right down and you could just go read them all the time, huh?
Yeah, if you choose.
If you choose.
And I believe you will.
Yeah, and you met our guest artist. Our title today is A True Believer, and our book this week is Every Saint Has a Past, Every Sinner a Future, 7 Steps to the Spiritual and Material Riches of Life by Terry Cole-Whittaker.
Yes.
And now it's time for affirmations. So Greg and Sheila are kind enough to read them for us this week, and we're glad to have you. For lots of reasons.
I am the radiance of God in physical form. A divine purpose guides every moment of my life. I am a blessing to everyone I meet today as I shine brightly. The world is a more loving place because I am in it. The universe showers me with abundant good. I experience profound joy in this moment and through all time. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. And today's reading from Every Sinner Has a Past, Every Saint a Future.
I love that title.
That's a good title. Her titles are the best.
Yeah.
We are the exceptions to the rule of change. As eternal living entitles, we were never born, nor shall we ever die, but the bodies in which we travel are subject to the laws of nature. Time and the whole creative process set the stage for boundless variety and the opportunity for us to fulfill our desires and create our dreams into living reality. From the moment we first conceive of an idea, the idea starts to take on shape and form until it manifests in the outer world, continues for a while, and then falls away just as the leaf falls from the tree. Another idea gives birth to another, and one moment gives birth to the next. But nothing in this world will ever last forever in the same form. But even matter never dies, as the atom and the molecules reconfigure into the next form. Why are we so surprised, sometimes even shocked, when something comes to an end? Failure is the name we give something that stops. Stopping does not indicate failure. It signals that the end of one cycle and adventure has come so that we may advance into the next. The outer world is continually changing like an endless dance and the kaleidoscope of variation. Nothing is supposed to stay the same, but people work very hard at making worldly things permanent. In time, even the pyramids will be no more. The stones from which the pyramids are made will turn into sand, and someone will come along and make cement out of the sand and build another so-called indestructible structure. Knowing the principle of cycles and change allows us to understand that everything material is temporary, but we, as the constant, move through one experience to the next. Suffering comes when we attach ourselves to the temporary and to changing other than to the eternal. God is our forever source and supply, and the outer world of ever-changing molecules, textures, and patterns. Our happiness never did come from something, but from within. As us, we are happiness, love, and bliss personified. And since these qualities are our very nature, they will manifest when we are true to our spiritual nature. And so it is.
So it is.
Are we ready for Paul again?
Yes. We're ready for Paul. There he is. Almost. Hey, Paul. Got another song for us?
Yes. I'm a true believer in love and love as God.
There you
This
go.
song is called Love for God. Take me. Love, take me. Oh, love, take me with you, for I need to be where it's peaceful and quiet. I can hear myself breathe. Oh, love, take me with you, for I need to see your point of view all around me. Oh, here is my heart. I surrender all desire. I'm ready now. Oh, love, take me with you. Surround me now. Hold me close and don't let go.
Yay. Thank you so much, Paul. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, we appreciate you. All right, we're going to say goodbye for a little while, and we'll have you back shortly. Thank you.
Here we go.
Here we go. So this title came to me, and as always, I give it to Valerie. And
I gripe.
She gripes. She's like, isn't this a little Christian for me? That looks like a Christian fish behind us.
It does. How funny is that?
Anyway, the title is True Believer, and as Ernest Holmes says, as much as we can believe will be done unto us. As much as we can believe will be done unto us. So that conjures up the thought is, well, what are your beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of them? Are you conscious of them? How many of them serve you? How many of them don't serve you? How many of those beliefs are in your conscious mind, and how many are buried deep in your subconscious mind, where all creation takes place in the human form?
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is we're created to have choice, and that means we can choose our beliefs. I once was Catholic, and I believed in the Holy. I can't even say it anymore. Holy
Trinity?
Epitaph.
Oh, that I don't even know.
Well, all you Catholics know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it was a time of my life where I just didn't identify with what was being said and how it was being said and what was being done, and there was I didn't have any bad feelings against it. I wasn't one of those Catholics that say they're recovering Catholic. No, I didn't go there. I saw myself as transcending into something else, So I was a transcending Catholic. So I tried all these different persuasions and experimented around and went here, went there, and nothing was fulfilling me. I was still hanging on to my Catholicism while I was going through this because I didn't want to take a chance in case it was right. I didn't want to go to hell. And that was what I was going through. I was in my mid-20s, and for a lot of us, that's a time of life where we're growing and expanding and becoming something that we never thought we'd be. So when we make those, when we go through those changes, it's important for us to remember to challenge whatever you're moving into, because the challenge really helps us be clear on whether this is a true belief now or whether it's something that I don't need to follow. There's times when, like I just said, I went through where we're going through this change and we feel like we're caught in between two places. The old is still there, and we're deciding whether we want to move into the new, and we just find ourselves in this in-between phase. And that sometimes isn't very comfortable. But as we move through these from one phase into the next, it's always good to sit and be still, to be with it, knowing that when you're clear on where you want to go, then that new belief can take effect in your life. And I like this quote by Muhammad Ali. He said, it's the repetition of affirmations that leads us to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. And I think back to the days when I was a young man and my parents just didn't like Muhammad Ali. They thought he was so full of himself. And I'm like, yeah, you go, Muhammad. He would declare when he would win a fight and how he'd win the fight. And it would always come true. He was convinced in himself, and he was clear about his beliefs in himself. And that's an important thing for us all.
Well, he's clear about his principles too.
Yeah, that's true. He stood strong in his principles because he almost lost his whole career because of not going in and fighting a war that none of us really liked. But that was his truth. What I know is we'll always come to the place where we're clear about why we're there, because the truth always guides us, and we're always supported in our journey from one phase of our life to the next. What we must, no, we don't have to must. How can I say this? What I believe is that the belief and the believer are one thing. So what I believe in makes me who I am, and what you believe in makes you who you are. And there's so many things that I mean, our belief system covers so many different areas of our life that sometimes it's hard to keep up with. But what I know is that out of the 7.8 billion people on this earth, that even if you find two people that are so closely knitted that they seem to be alike, even then their beliefs are different. There's a set of beliefs that are different. So,
well, even with identical twins, because we had, when I was in high school out in eastern Colorado, there were two sets of twins in our high school, and they were both identical twins, and two were girls and the other two were boys. And as we got to know them, like when you first meet them, you'd think, wow, I'll never be able to tell these both of them apart because they're so identical. But as we got to know them, it's like, oh, she does this and she does that, and she likes this and she likes that. And if I just look at her face, I can see where she makes this different face, or her face is a little different. And the same with the boys. It's like they were identical until we got to know them, and then they were absolutely individual. And I would know them when they came up together, but I would know them separately too. It's like were not identical. They were really close, but they were not identical, and so nothing is.
No. And in theory, or in fact, if you want to think of it that way, there's no such thing as a true believer, because the belief and the believer are the same thing. So what I believe in is true to me, but it doesn't necessarily have to be true to anybody else. Anybody on the planet, I could be completely opposite of anybody on the planet, but being true to myself makes me a true believer, not being true to anything outside of myself. So as we're moving through this time of life that the whole planet is experiencing at the same time, our belief system is important, because it's what will bring us through these challenges in a way that supports our life, supports our loved ones' life.
Supports our planet, I hope, and supports everyone.
So what do we believe? What do you believe? What are you willing to change about belief? Belief is something that we use to create things in our life. Because if I choose to take on a new way of being, then I have to choose my belief system, because what I did believe isn't going to serve me with my new belief. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I just want to backtrack, because when you said that, I said that's too Christian. I didn't exactly say that, but I did think it. And it's not. I grew up. It was great. I didn't have any problems. I really liked Sunday school and church and our minister and all of that. It's just that as I got older, and I realized the rules that were being put on certain people by certain churches and not others, but just the idea of this person's going to hell and this person's not because of somebody said that. And if you do this, and I had an experience when I think I was about 13, and an aunt of mine who said the little girl down the street's grandfather died, and the little girl came to my aunt and said, so did my grandfather go to heaven? And he was Catholic and my aunt was something else. And she told him no, because he hadn't been that something else and done the things that they specifically said you had to do to get to heaven, that no, he didn't go to heaven. And I think that was the point that I started thinking, wow, I need to find a different way to be, because I don't believe that. But I also don't understand how somebody could be so cruel as to say that to a child whose grandfather just died. And I know that my aunt was a really good person. She was really kind and she was really caring and she was a lot of fun. And that just seemed so incongruent to me. And so those are the things I'm still struggling with, in terms of when somebody else tells us, in order to be this, you have to believe that, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. So for me, it's just about not hanging on to things that I might have been taught or things that might have been said that don't work for me and that I don't believe, and then discovering what I do believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well put.
Yeah. So I interrupted you.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You made a point that I wasn't able to make.
Well, that's what comes up for me. It's just like, that just seemed so incongruent that my aunt would do something like that or say something like that, because she was, other than that, she was just lovely.
Yeah. And we run into all those kind of things in family, especially because here we are, we're this family. We have a mother, a father, and kids. And the mother and father believe something, and we take on a lot of their beliefs. So in a certain way, it is a choice, but it really isn't a choice, because we're too young to know. So we have these beliefs that we come into the world with, and all of a sudden we discover things that are different, and we start seeking. And that's an important thing when you're on a spiritual traveler, is to keep seeking, keep open, keep your mind open, keep your heart open, because change is good. And what you believe today isn't what you believed last year or yesterday. And when we choose to want to manifest something in our life, then we have to believe in what we're choosing to manifest. Mm-hmm. Because without the belief, it just won't go anywhere.
And we have to really watch our thoughts.
We do.
Because that's like, I can say that I want this thing and I'm going to manifest this thing. And I'm especially watching my thoughts right now because I really love our neighborhood. And I love all the people in it. And suddenly we're all here all of the time. And things are beginning to bug me. Like just an example. And he had every right to do it. I'm not saying that. It just bugged me. I was planning on having my grandchildren over and we were going to spend the day outside. And all of a sudden our house was filled up with smoke. And I had to go around closing all the windows. And I realized I don't know what the neighbor was doing, but there was smoke just billowing out of his yard, and it did for several hours. So I had to stop being mad because he just ruined my plans and realize we're in a neighborhood, we're all here all of the time, and we're very close to each other, and some people are going to do things that I don't like sometimes. And am I going to dwell on that? Or am I going to figure out what I want and how do I make my, obviously we weren't going to get exactly what I wanted, but I could do something else with it and I could stop dwelling on that. Now, I'm only using this tiny little example as an illustration of I have this plan of this business I want to start or this thing I want to do or this thing I want to manifest, and those little things get in. And then we find that we're concentrating on what we do not want. What we concentrate on, what we think about, where our mind is, where our thoughts are, is exactly what we manifest.
So be like the cowardly lion. And when you want to manifest something in your life, just keep saying, I do believe, I do believe, and keep believing in those choices that you're making for your life, because we're born with choice.
We are.
And we can choose to believe whatever we want to believe.
Yeah.
Because in reality, we're just this center of millions of beliefs that guide us and direct us and affect us in our everyday life.
It's funny you thought of the Wizard of Oz, because I'm like with the little engine that could. I think I can. But you're very attached to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Because
in my days of seeking to be an actor, I did 52 performances of the Wizard of Oz. But I wasn't the lion. I was
the scarecrow.
If I only had a brain. And sometimes my brain gets in the way, so I'm thankful that I don't have a brain.
Well, and I that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about too, because we are thinking, willing, Ernest Holmes said this, we are thinking, willing, knowing, conscious centers of life surrounded by and immersed in a flowing through a creative something. So whatever we're thinking about, we're manifesting, because that creative mind, that infinite intelligence isn't thinking, oh, they don't really want that, I'll do this for them. No, it's free will. And so we're absolutely responsible for every single thought we think and everything we manifest, which doesn't mean that things don't happen to us, because everybody else is manifesting too. And so we had to talk about that a lot in class when I was still learning it, because we're all running around manifesting. And so it wouldn't make sense to think that those things we're manifesting don't bump into each other sometimes. And
right.
So, like I'm maybe, for example, I'm driving along on the road and I'm going to the archives, and I'm on Highway 76, and for those of you who live around here, it's really, really busy, and I see this great big piece of tire on the road that some truck threw off, and I'm thinking, I'm going to try and straddle this piece of tire because there's cars over here, and there's cars over here, and it kind of worked, but then I hit it with my right front tire, and then I saw all of this black spinning, and by the time I got over to the side of the road, the entire tire just fell off my car. I did not manifest that. I wasn't thinking about that. And stuff happens sometimes, and then we just get to choose what to do about it. So I'm sitting there shaking in my car going, oh my gosh, I made it to the side of the road. What do I do? And it's like, open glove box, call insurance. So it's like we can choose then, okay, this thing happened. What am I going to do next to make it better? What am I going to do? How am I going to go forward?
You believed you could get past that tire and be safe.
Well, and lots of good things happened. I mean, I still had to get a tire and all that stuff, but I had a sheriff saw me and came up and sat behind me, and then the insurance company was sending the tow truck, and then it came too long, and then he came back and he said, you know, if the tow truck doesn't come within this many minutes, you call the sheriff's office and we'll get somebody out here to take care of that. So, you know, it was inconvenient, and that's all. And I was safe, and my car was okay. Well, other things happened because of it that I learned later too. However, it's the thought about, okay, I didn't like this thing. What am I going to do now to go forward, to go where I want to go and how I want to be and how I want to do? So we have everything we need. We have everything we need. And we can spend our thoughts thinking about the things we want to manifest. We can spend our thoughts being, this is a key, being grateful. Grateful, 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 grateful. Grateful for everything we have. Grateful that we're manifesting everything we want. Grateful for everything that has brought us to this point, because some of those things that we bumped into or that bumped into us were our greatest teachers. And so we can spend our time being grateful. We can spend our time focusing on what we want. We can catch ourselves when we realize, oh, I'm going down an old track. I'm going down an old road. Oh, I'm really sick of being in my house. And then we just having all the fires and stuff. So now I can't even go out in the yard because it's smoky. We can concentrate on that, or we can focus on, yes, and we're safe. Yes, and this good thing is happening. Yes, and that good thing is happening. And truly, it feels like everything is amplified right now. There are so many rabbit holes we can go down. We can go down this one and that one and this one because there's so many things going on, and it doesn't serve us to go there.
No. Bottom line, you want to be a true to yourself believer. That is, believing that you are a child of God. You are made in God's likeness and image, and you're always safe. You're always maintained and sustained by that one power and that one presence. And that's where belief moves into absolutely being convinced of that truth. Because through your life experiences, through my life experiences, I'll put it that way, I've learned who and what I am. I've learned my individual connection with God. And because it's true for me, it's true for all. And that's so easy to not even have to believe in, to just know that I know that I know. Because I've had my life experiences like you've had yours. And when we set our beliefs in a way that keeps us moving forward, instead of setting our beliefs to being stuck in one place, then life will treat us in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. Because I believe what I believe, and you can believe what you believe, but together we make this unified circle of life where we can love, where we can support each other and just be true to ourselves. So I'm a true to myself believer, and I invite you to be a true to yourself believer.
So, yeah, and Terry Cole-Whittaker talked about how things don't last. Things come and things go. So we're not necessarily talking about things.
Right.
And things are nice and that's good. However, it's more about what's my consciousness right now? What's my thinking right now? What's my thoughts right now? Am I thinking thoughts of love? Am I thinking thoughts of, oh my gosh, I just can't read that. All of those things impact our things. They impact the love that we have around us. They impact our health. And so when we get stuck on things, knowing that things come and things go, and people don't necessarily do the things that we think they should do or the things that we want them to be, and we are eternal beings. We are always okay, regardless of what's going on in our lives, regardless of the circumstances we're in, regardless of what I guess I said it, all of the outside things that are going on. We need to be focused on the inside and what's true for us there. And then as we do that, we create those thoughts, taking them outside. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about affirmations too, because and that's what Muhammad Ali said too, you can take yourself out of a negative thought with those affirmations. You can take yourself out of a negative thought with prayer. And so I invite you again, if you're not knowing what affirmation to say, and that's something that's kind of new for you, check out our website, because there's lots of really good affirmations out there. And I forgot to thank Stephen Anthony for all of those that he writes. He writes the affirmations and he writes the affirmative prayer every single week, and we're so grateful for it. And they are there for you to use anytime you need it, because they're sitting right out on our website. And again, we're just really happy to pray with them for you too. So if it's something that you can pray yourself out of, great. If it's something that you need someone to pray with or for you, do that, because there are tools. There are ways to retrain our thoughts into thinking about what we're grateful for and stopping to think about that which we don't want and don't like.
So at any given point in time, you could say, this is what I want. I want to be peaceful. I want to live a life of peace. And that's what I want to believe. Even though you might be living in a chaotic state right now, you can say, I want to believe that I am a point of peace. And then you use the affirmations to back that up by declaring as many times as you possibly can all day long. When you're starting to feel that your belief isn't strong enough, you say, I am a place of peace. I am a place of peace. And then you start building it into the belief until that belief is settled in your conscious and subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is really where you change things. You change old thought patterns. It can't happen it starts with the conscious mind by declaring the truth for yourself until you believe it absolutely, and then the subconscious mind will automatically take over,
right, and
bring that peace to you.
And there are some things that I still struggle with, because we're going through different things right now. But there are old things that I used to think were such big deals that, well, I've moved through those and I've moved on, and I realize I don't have to think those thoughts anymore, and none of us has to think those thoughts anymore. We can choose what we think. And yes, sometimes it takes a class, and sometimes it takes a practitioner session, and sometimes it takes a prayer, and sometimes it takes affirmations, and sometimes it just takes a big hug. And if there's not somebody to hug you personally, let's get on the Zoom and have a what that kind of online hug. That's not what I was going to say, but I can't remember.
Cosmic hug.
Maybe. Anyway. And so maybe we should do that right now. We're just going to send those thoughts of love and light and peace and harmony and abundance and joy right out to each and every one of you right here and right now.
So believe anything you want to believe, but believe in yourself, believe in God, believe in that your word has power, believe that anything you want to be, you can be, anything you want to change, you can change. Believe, just believe, because within your belief is all the power that is beyond anything that has ever been invented, beyond the atom bomb, beyond anything. Your power is more powerful than that.
And gratitude. Think of the things that you already have that you're grateful for, because that will move you into those things that you may not have right now, but you want to create. But from a place of gratitude, it's a lot easier to go into that affirmation and that truth of where I might not be right now, but I'm in the becoming of where I want to be right now.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And I back you up on that. So where are we at?
I don't know. You got anything left?
Well, I just encourage people to check in with themselves, see what beliefs are coming up, see how are they old beliefs, have they been around for ages and they're still plaguing you, then change the belief. It's that easy. Just change the belief. I no longer believe in that. I believe in this, and declare what it is that you want to believe in, and watch that belief come to life. I've proved it to myself. You need to prove it to yourself,
right.
Because the belief and the believer are one thing.
That's right.
And I can tell you right here and right now, no matter where you are on this planet, no matter what you're going through, I believe in you.
Yes.
I believe in the power of you.
Yes.
I believe in the absolute godliness of you. You are a child of God, and for that I'm eternally thankful. Would you do the prayer?
Let's pray. So I just invite you to take a couple deep breaths. And as you're breathing in, breathe in light, breathe in love, breathe in peace. As you're breathing out, breathe out any negative thoughts you might have or be having or have had. Breathe out any fear. Breathe out any worries. Let's just take this moment right here and right now to recognize the one power and the one presence, the one life. That one eternal intelligence. That is all there is. That is everything. It is my life. It is Reverend Michael's life. It is the life that each person here today, each person that watches it later, it is the life of each person everywhere. There is no separation. It is the life of the rivers and the oceans and the trees and the valleys and the forests and the deserts and the cities and the country. It is everything everywhere. There is no thing outside of God. And as we breathe again, and we just recognize that oneness, that allness, that isness, that we are each and all connected. That as we breathe in that peace, as we breathe in that love, As we become that peace and that love, we spread that love out and out and out. And as more and more of us become that love, we actually have the power to change things. So I'm just focusing on that truth of our being, that oneness, that allness, that isness. And I know for each one of us that we are love, that we are peace. That we are absolutely divine. That we move and breathe and have our being within the one mind, who is manifesting our thoughts. And as we concentrate on those thoughts, we begin to recognize, I can release this thought now because I know better. I know peace for myself. I know harmony for myself. I know love for myself. And I can take those beliefs and those thoughts and those feelings and I can share them out. I can spread them out. I can become more of who I came here to be. And I know that for each and every single one of us, that we are that love and that peace and that harmony and that joy and that oneness and that allness and that isness. And that we are creating a world that works for everyone. We are becoming who we came here to be. We are each called here to be who we came here to be. And so I'm so grateful to know this word. And so in that absolute gratitude, knowing it is done, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
And I invite you to unify with these words together as we send out light and love across the planet, knowing that it touches people that are in pain, that are experiencing lack or limitation, that are unhealthy in any way, and see the highest and best for them, just surrounding them with that healing light that we're putting out. And I send out a special word for our brother Tyler, as he's going through his life pattern, knowing that even though it may not look the way we want it to look, his journey is perfect. He's perfectly expressing as he is right here and right now. And I surround his parents and his family with that same light and love, knowing for them peace, the peace that surpasses human understanding. And for all those that have asked for prayer in any way, we join with them and acknowledge that as it is asked, so it is given. And for this, I'm eternally grateful. So very grateful to be alive, awake, and aware. So very grateful for all those who've joined us today. So very grateful for my relationship, for my home, and for all those beautiful people that are part of our life now.
Yes.
Grateful for these things and so much more. And in this attitude of gratitude, I now release the word. I let it be. And together we say,
and so it is. Ashe and amen.
Mm-hmm.
And I always have to add, woohoo! Yay.
And there, right on cue, is Paul.
Woohoo! Speaking of woohoo.
Yeah. Okay, that's a hard act to follow there. This is a song that I wrote as a way of becoming peaceful in nature. It's called Rocky Mountain Peace of Mind. Takes me a day to get away, rise above it all. stuff into my truck when I hear the mountains call. No, city life can be a dizzy routine, a ceaseless activity, makes my senses numb. I go visit Devil's Thumb. I crossed the great divide. I've got altitude, standing on top of the world, where the sky turns a deeper blue. Oh, wilderness divine, take me away for a long walk in the pines and some Rocky Mountain peace of mind. Game trails wind through the alpine meadow, wildlife freely come and go. Mother Nature's motion picture show here in Colorado. I surrender to the forest, empty out my head into the timberline wind, where I keep my spirit fed. Oh, wilderness divine, take me away for a long walk in the pines and some Rocky Mountain peace of mind.
That's great, Paul. Tell people how they can get a hold of you and get some of that great music to have at home.
You can see my website there on the crawler at the bottom of the screen. You can go there and you can find out how to contact me there.
Perfect.
So a Rocky Mountain frame of mind is going from 97 degrees right now into 14 or 15 inches of snow tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to embrace the outdoors. You know, sometimes to find peace of mind, all you got to do is go outside.
That's right.
That's right. We're grateful. So we'll get back to you in a few minutes and
Sure.
do the final song. We're going to do some business right now.
So, this is our giving time, and so this basket is representing the gifts that we are mostly receiving online these days, although we still get a little bit of cash and a few checks. But so the ways that you can give, you can see the Venmo QR code up there. You can just put your phone right up next to that, and it'll take you right to Venmo at CSL North Metro, and you can donate. You can text to YouGive, YUGIVE, to 888-364-GIVE. You can go to our website, cslnorthmetro.com, and there are a couple of ways to give there. So if this is meaningful to you and if it helps you a little bit, help us continue to do this and have these great musicians and Greg and Sheila doing all the wonderful things that they do. So we just really appreciate it. So should we bless?
Yes.
What's come in and what's coming in?
Just hold your hands up to the screen like this and imagine the energy flowing from you into this basket and filling it with the good that you are, and repeat after me. Thank you, Pure Spirit.
Thank you, Pure Spirit.
We're so very grateful this day.
We're so very grateful this day.
We give with our heart's love,
We give with our heart's love,
knowing that our gift goes out and blesses many people.
knowing that our gift goes out and blesses many people.
And it comes back multiplied.
And comes back multiplied.
For this and so much more.
For this and so much more.
We give thanks.
We give thanks.
And let it be.
And let it be.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Okay, one more.
Yeah.
This is an old traditional song. Glory of Love. You got to give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That is the story of, that is the glory of love. You got to laugh a little, cry a little, let the clouds roll by a little. That is the story of, that is the glory of love. Long as there's just the two of us, we'll have the world and its charms. And when the world is through with us, we'll be safe in each other's arms. You got to win a little, lose a little. Sometimes you gotta have the blues a little. That is the story of, that is the glory of love. That is the story of, that is the glory of love. Long as there's just the two of us, we'll have the world and its charms. When the world is through with us, we'll be safe in each other's arms. You got to win a little, lose a little. Sometimes you gotta have the blues a little. That is the story of, that is the glory of love. That is the story of, that is the glory of love.
Yay.
Woo-hoo.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well said.
Absolutely. So join us on Zoom right after this service and share your aha. The link to Zoom is in the comments. So otherwise, if you don't have the comments and you can't see it, you can go to our website, and on the calendar, the Zoom link's right there too. So, all right.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
See you all.
Enjoy the Wyoming weather.
You can
We will.
Yay.
We will.
I'm going to do a benediction and we'll all go to our own little paths.
Okay.
So once again, giving thanks, eternal gratitude for this day, for all the loved ones in our lives, for all the good that's in our lives. Ever so grateful and in expectation that more good is coming our way. I give thanks knowing that this word is complete, knowing that this service is complete. Just so very grateful. And so I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
See some of you on Zoom after. You're all invited. We'd love to see you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See y'all later.
Okay.